Okay guys, so I figured while I'm here I might as well do my first labour and delivery story so I can get it edited and up for you guys. I will apologise for the background. This is the nicest background I can get right now because all my rooms, I've stripped the wallpaper off, I've sanded down, and the walls pretty much look like, where is it, like this. Like that in all the rooms, like it's gross. So, like, the TV and the bookcase are the best. This is the best background I could get. I did debate doing it in front of the play kitchen because that's sort of a nice child-friendly background, but this is comfortable and it isn't right in front of my huge living room window where everybody walking past, including my neighbours, can look in and see me talking to a camera, weirdly. So I'm going to start with my eldest child, naturally Amanda, who I had when I was 17 years old. Yes, all my kids have the same dad. So what happened was I got a date to get induced with Amanda, and I don't really remember it very clearly, I think because it was so long ago and I was so young, but I got a room. They gave me this pessary thing that's supposed to start labour off. I lost the plug. And then they came in, like, literally I lost the plug and they were like, right, okay, she's good to go. Something's elastic. I can't remember. They broke my waters for me and then I went into sort of full-blown labour. Like, they broke my waters and about 30 minutes later I was in active labour. Like, I just went from, like, 0 to 60 in 3.5. So Matt wasn't with me for the labour. What happened is he knew that I was going to go and get induced, but he had to work, and he was like, obviously we were expecting it to take a while because first labours are usually quite long. So he was expecting to finish work and still get there in time, and he was like, ring me if anything changes. And we tried to, but because he's at work and there's no signal on his phone, I don't even think he's allowed his phone at work. And then we couldn't get through to the managers. Like, really, I was concentrating on labour at this point. My mum was doing all the running around. Basically, he's at work. We can't get hold of him. So my mum's there through this labour and delivery. It was pretty uneventful. I didn't want pain relief. I did try gassing it. I had like a little bit at the beginning and it made me feel sick, like really nauseous. So I was like, I don't want that. So I just did what I described in my top 5 tip video for a pain relief free labour. I just focused on my pain, and my mum was there and she kept stroking my head and she kept trying to talk to me, and I kept trying to nicely say shut up to her because I'm not a very confrontational person. I don't like to offend people or hurt their feelings, so I couldn't just outright say like shut the F up, mother. Like, even though I was in loads of pain, like I'm in labour, I still couldn't bring myself to say that. So I was just like, okay, mum, okay, yeah, that's enough, yeah, okay. I'm trying to close my eyes, I'm trying to get through it, and she's still going for it. So that didn't really help. So I felt it, but it was fairly uneventful until the end. It only lasted 8 hours, which actually, because I was concentrating and focusing for the most part in between my mum's little inputs, like, it seemed to pass fairly quickly. Like, it didn't feel like 8 hours to me at all. Towards the end, when I'm pushing, my mum's stroking my head and she's just like, babe, sweetheart, just imagine you're on a beach. At which point I'm pretty sure I snapped. I can't remember fully, but she seems to think I definitely snapped. And I was like, do I look like I am on an effing beach? I'm not. Shut up. Like, and then she was quiet after that, apart from I think she chimed in a little bit when she begged me to have pain relief, because I was trying to focus, and obviously my face, like, I'm her daughter and she could see me in pain and she didn't want to. She didn't want to see me in pain, basically. But other than that, she sort of shut up after that and left me to it. So I was pushing, and then, like, I got a head out. Yes, took it out. No, I pushed her head out, and then they were like, push some more. And I think I got 3 pushes before the main midwife, I don't want to be horrible about her, but she wasn't very nice to me. She looked at me like the teenage scum she thought I was. And so basically the head's out. I've done 3 more pushes and nothing's happening, at which point she smashes this effing alarm on the wall. I can like, there's a flashing light somewhere, I can see that, and midwives run in. I'm not even joking, like there must have been 12 midwives just ran in. My legs are being ripped apart. I feel like I'm going to be in half. And then I don't know if anybody has ever heard the sound of skin being cut, but it sounds eerily similar to when you are cutting through a thick piece of card or material. Okay, but not only did I hear it, but I felt it. And I felt it like times a million because I hadn't had any pain relief. So what had happened basically is she'd got stuck. She'd had something called shoulder dystocia, where she hadn't turned properly in the birth canal and had managed to get head out, but her shoulders were lodged. So it wasn't as serious as some cases because basically all it took was a cut and she was out, and that was great. I thank God every bloody day for that, because there were other cases where they might have had to break her arm, where she could have suffocated. Like there's so many different things, like the placenta could have come away, she's still in, she's not breathing, like so many other things that could have happened with shoulder dystocia that didn't. So I'm so grateful that it was very, I don't think temporary is the right word, but it all happened very quickly, and the worst case scenarios didn't happen. They managed to get her out and everything was great. And so yeah, they put her on my chest afterwards, and because she'd been in distress and I was lucky that this didn't happen while she was still in there, they put her on my stomach and she crapped everywhere, like all over me. But I didn't realise that that's what it was because I'd never had a baby before. So it was like this black tarry stuff, and I touched it with my fingers and I was like, Mum, what's this? And then the hateful midwife was just like, the baby's pooed. And I laughed because it's funny, you know. Like what else can you do in that situation? There's no point freaking out, is that I've just had a baby. Like what does poo matter? So anyway, I'm holding her on me, like we're both basically lying in poo. She's pooed on me, she's lying in it, I'm soaked in it. And the midwife holds up my placenta, and it's huge. It's huge and big. It looks like something from the film Alien, except for without the teeth. And she's like, oh my God, this is so healthy. This is a really healthy placenta. And I think what she was getting at, like all midwives throughout my pregnancy, is because I'd been a smoker before, they expected that I would smoke throughout my pregnancy, and they were expecting the crystallised little white calluses all over it, and they were expecting it to be small, and they were expecting Amanda to be small, which by the way she wasn't. Yeah, they measured my stomach the whole way through, and they measured her on the scans, and they were like, yep, she's going to be no more than 6 pounds. You're going to have a really small baby. And I think that they were saying this as well because they thought that I smoked, even though I kept telling them that I didn't anymore, that I'd quit as soon as I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, so she's pooed on me the whole placenta. Everybody's very surprised. The midwife's still been a cow. But there was another midwife who came in who actually delivered Amanda, who was called Amanda. And she was being really nice to me. And then she took Amanda off me and she was like, do you want your mum to hold her? And I'm like, yeah. So my mum offered to hold her basically while I went and got cleaned up. So while I went and had a shower and got my pyjamas and that on, because it's night, it's like 1:45 when I had her, so it's late, I want to go to sleep. So I went and got washed and dressed, and my mum washed and dressed Amanda, which I thought was really good bonding for her as a grandma as well. And obviously me doing it, I would have probably just dropped poo all over her again, like I would have had to, you know. The point is, people have a go like, oh, you should have done it. Yeah, probably. So what? Shut up. My mum did it. My mum took on the role of grandma, and she let her daughter, who had just gone through labour, have a shower and get her shit together, and she dressed the baby. Okay? That's what happened. So before they dressed her, they weighed her, and this is before I went to the shower as well, and they didn't believe it, so they actually weighed her 3 times just to make sure, because the cow midwife couldn't believe her eyes, that Amanda was £10 too. So yeah, after that I did find out that the midwife had basically given my mum all this information on shoulder dystocia that she should have given me, which was pretty shitty. and I don't think I would ever go to that hospital now to have a baby, because I've had 2 experiences there that were pretty dim. But yeah, that's my story of my £10 daughter who everybody thought was going to be small and who got stuck. And she enjoys this birth story just as much as everybody else. She thinks it's hilarious that she crapped all over me. So let me know what you guys think. Should I have been the one to change her? Who knows? I probably should have just got a shower. I was covered in shit. Anyway, so stay tuned for number 2 and number 3 of my labour and delivery stories. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm not particularly good at explaining things, but I hope I got this across enough, like good enough for you guys. So thanks.